People ask me all the time, Brendon, do you meditate? And the answer is yes. I've been meditating for over a decade of my life, but I want to share with you kind of how. One of my biggest frustrations when I started learning to meditate was how complicated it was, because honestly, I would read entire books on how to meditate and they never teach you. They just talk about how meditation is great, and the evidence is conclusive. I mean, every scientific study ever done, from neuroscientist studies to psychological studies to self-report studies, have found over and over and over again the incredible benefits of meditation. From lowering people's stress and anxiety, to helping them have more attention and focus, to literally helping them do better on tests, on activities at work, and literally allowing them to increase their reported happiness. I mean, it is the magic method for improving people's lives mentally and psychologically, and many people would argue spiritually as well. The challenge is you got all these books that talk about the benefits but never teach you how, or they really make it so complicated or not fun that you're kind of like, what is this? Or maybe they're religion-based and people don't really, just vibe with that particular religion or spiritual style. So I'm going to teach you a very basic tool and strategy for meditation that I created 4 or 5 years ago that's really caught on, and I'm really honored about it. It's called the Release Meditation Technique. It's so straightforward and so easy that anybody can do it. It's mantra-based, like most of the great meditational techniques that they've been able to prove by science to give an actual psychological effect over a period of time, which means basically I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to focus on that word with your eyes closed, and your whole focus is just simple to have that word repeating in your mind over and over and over again. Very soft. I'll give you the rhythm that has been proven to work really well, and you'll repeat with that rhythm over and over and over again. When thoughts come up, which they inevitably do when you're meditating, right? Lots of stuff. Like many people say, I can't meditate, my brain's too active. It's by meditating that you learn to slow down, control, and master your brain. So often when you close your eyes, your brain's like a big stir and lots of things are going to come up. That's okay. That's going to happen in your first couple sessions and maybe in your first couple weeks of meditation. But at some point, less and less thoughts come up. And now you return to the mantra and you find yourself in this bliss state where they've been able to show your brain waves get in a better position to literally allow you to feel better afterwards. Sometimes your first couple meditations, you might not feel anything. It's just a nice quiet. It's a nice break from the day. Other times you will find that you just feel incredibly refreshed and renewed. My technique, what I do personally in my practice of meditation, is I do 20 minutes of this mantra-based technique, again, the release meditation technique. And I like to do the 20 minutes twice a day, or what I like to do is just make sure I always do it before a shift in gears. Meaning, if I've been doing email all day and now I'm going to go to write my books, before I just turn off the email, I sit down, I sit in a dignified, relaxed position, I go internal within, I repeat this mantra, and I do it for 20 minutes. I set the alarm on my phone for 20 minutes. I just close my eyes and I do the release meditation technique. In 20 minutes, I'm fresh. I feel like I just woke up in the morning, like I had a great nap, and bam, now I can write creatively, unattached to all the previous activities. Same thing, if I come home and my spouse isn't home yet, I'll sit down and I'll try, and before she gets home, I'll try and meditate for 20 minutes. So when I meet her, I'm fresh, I'm mentally clean and open to the moment, to be present. So I really encourage you to do it as maybe a practice. You could do it twice a day. Maybe you do it in the morning and you do it at lunch. Or maybe you do it at lunch and when you get home from work. So you're finding those spots to do it. You don't have to do it twice a day. Just begin. Just start. Try and do it daily just to begin. Give yourself a 10-day meditation challenge. Next 10 days, you're going to meditate at least once for 20 minutes following the release meditation technique. You will find your psychological health, you'll feel it. It's a sensation, it's a presence, it's an aliveness, it's a freshness that most people have never experienced in their lifetimes. When you do the technique, you may fall asleep, you might nap if you're really tired and your body needs it. That's okay. Let it happen, okay? Whatever you're going to do, that's cool. Our goal is, though, just to keep focused on this mantra. The mantra itself is the word release. That's why I've called it the release meditation technique. A lot of other mantras that I found, and I'm sure you have found too in meditation study, they're longer phrases. Sometimes they're sounds that may or may not, you may not relate with. They sometimes are literally full prayers that are hard to remember or something. For me, it's just the word release. I just close my eyes and I repeat this word release over and over. And when a thought comes up, I feel that thought comes up, I sense that thought coming up, and your goal is just don't follow the thought. Don't obsess about the thought. Don't just say, oh, look, a thought, and come right back to the word release. So if I'm sitting there and my rhythm sounds like this. Release, 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 release. Just like that. So as I'm saying release to myself in my own head, I'm not usually verbalizing it. For me, often I start the meditation verbalizing it just to pick up my rhythm and get it in my head and so I can focus on it. When you use your voice, your mind sort of commands its focus to that verbal aspect of communicating, so it really can help you focus and rid yourself of thought. So you might start with your eyes closed, and you start with that rhythm. Release, 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 release. Just a casual release, release. When you first start meditating, you're like, release, 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 because you want to release. I use the word release because it reminds me, particularly, it has meaning, at least in the English language, to let go of. And for me, letting go of, release, it helps me to think of two things. Releasing my thoughts. So when a thought comes up, I see it, I'm just release it. And I come back to the mantra of release. And it also reminds me to release tension in my body, to find that looseness, that relaxation in my muscles. And I can sense and feel the tension around my body. And by coming to the word release, it reminds me to release that part that's holding tension. And so you can have you can use your own rhythm at that own, or you could use your own word at that rhythm. I like the sound of release because the R has a rhythm, a sound to it, and it has the syllable release. That second syllable helps keep it mantra-based for me. So maybe you resonate it, maybe you don't, but let's try it, would you? All I'm going to do is I'll have you close your eyes here in a moment. And when you close your eyes, I just want you to say the words out loud with me at the rhythm, and then I'll get quieter and quieter, and you can just now repeat the word release in your mind over and over. And again, just relax at a casual pace and rhythm for yourself. You'll find your own ideal rhythm. And then what will happen is, inevitably, thoughts will come up. When they come up, see them, sense them, feel them, but don't follow the path of them. Let them go and come right back to that mantra. It'll feel clunky the first time you're doing this, certainly over the first day or two as you're learning to do it, but by the third, fourth, fifth, sixth day, you're going to go into such an unbelievable state of mind, and you will start feeling a lot more energized throughout the day, much more present, way less stress, and more importantly, you'll feel refreshed throughout the day, which is important. You don't need to hit the Starbucks. You need to close your eyes and go within and allow your body to rejuvenate in mind and spirit. And when you do that over and over and again, it becomes powerful. Now, one more thing. A lot of people say, well, Brendon, do you listen to music? Do you listen to anything? Most of the time when I do this personally, I do it with no sound. I try to find a quiet place, and there's no music or anything playing. I just do that now. That's easier for me now. When I began, I had to have something playing or something. But often, I do this on planes, and you know how loud a plane can be? When I sit down in a plane, the first thing I do is I put on my noise-canceling headphones, and I plug it into my phone. I listen to the sound. I'll play the track for you, and you can download it down below for free. The artist was incredible to give me the ability to share this with you, and so you can download it. You can listen to it. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you have to maybe enter your name and email to get the free download, but I really encourage you to do it. It's just a sound. It's a great mantra-based. It's beautiful, actually. And I thank Wayne Dyer for introducing me to the sound, to the music that I listen to. So what we'll do is I'll start you, and then you'll do the rhythm with me out loud, and then I'll stop, and you stop using your voice as well, and just go inside, and we'll play this song. The song is about 20 minutes, and what I'll do is I'll just come in every few minutes to recheck you right back into the mantra, because maybe you might find yourself going off in some direction. So this will be something you can listen to over and over and over again. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will help share the message of meditation to your friends, to your family, as you experience it more. You're welcome to just teach people the release meditation technique. It's very simple again. They're basically closing their eyes and repeating the mantra of release over and over and over again for a 20-minute span of time to really open their mind. Now the question is, what if I can't do 20 minutes? That's okay too. Get in as much as you can each day. If you can do it twice a day, great. But 20 minutes has been proven over and over and over again to open a whole different level of psychological experience and effect. So try it that amount of time. There's a ton of science to it. You can look it up all over online to see all the different powerful methods and results that you get from meditation. This is just mine, the release meditation technique. So let's do it. Okay, go ahead and close your eyes and just sit up nice and casual and confident, but in a dignified way. Close your eyes now. And I'll start you, and again, I'll chime in later to keep you back on the mantra. But let's begin. Release, 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 release. release, 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 Release.